Todd.
And I'm Chase.
And today, we're going to talk a little about HOA conflict. Chase, any thoughts on the best way to approach a neighbor conflict? Let's say you and I live next door to each other and my tree's growing over your fence. Is that something you should be taking to the HOA board of directors?
I don't think so. When I think of conflict with your neighbors, I think the most important thing to understand is, or the first recommendation is to not escalate. We need to understand that our neighbors are homeowners as well, and they're going through life just like we are. So if we do have an issue with our neighbors, let's remember just to stay calm, take a step back. Maybe they have something going on, and I need to go and talk to my neighbor. If I have a problem with them, I need to talk to them. Getting the HOA board involved, or even the management company, while I may feel like it's necessary, at the end of the day, there's not a whole lot that they can do for us because they can only enforce the HOA documents. So if it's something that they can't see, or if it's a conflict with my neighbor that, for example, their dog's pooping on my yard, there's not a whole lot of HOA documents that I know of that have dog poop enforcement. So most likely they'll send out a bulletin to the community and say, all right, you should go talk to your neighbor and ask them not to do that again.
I agree 100%. I think a lot of things can be resolved easily through compromise and just alerting your neighbor. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they have issues going on in their own personal life. Taking a step back, a deep breath, and I know in my situation, if I don't know my neighbor, I'll take something to them to introduce myself and develop a relationship. Once you have a relationship with your neighbor, they're less likely to do things that are annoying, or they're more cognizant of the fact that you're neighbors.
I will say conflicts with HOAs can be a little bit trickier. And I think we definitely need to remember that as homeowners, we have certain rights that are granted to us, whether that conflict be, I got a violation or infraction, or my payment was missed, or it was late. What would you recommend are good solutions to handle conflicts with your HOA?
Well, first of all, as you said, conflicts are bound to happen in any situation, whether it's with your HOA or life in general. But as an example, you set up, if your payment is misapplied or it's late and you have an actual issue and you get a late fee, that's pretty common. So I think one of the best ways to resolve that is lift up the phone and call your HOA management company and talk to the manager. Explain your situation. If you call and you're just at level 10, DEFCON 10, trying to get your point across that you did mail it on time, that it's already withdrawn from your bank because you did a bill pay and it was promised to be there at a certain time. A lot of times it just didn't get there. So my suggestion is call, be calm, talk to the individual and let them know of the situation, or find out what they're seeing on their side. They may not see the same information that you do. They may not have received your payment yet, but know that most management companies are not holding payments in a secret drawer just to earn late fees. They are obligated because they're fiduciaries, meaning they have a responsibility to deposit those funds as soon as they receive them.
And I don't think we really want to piss people off just for the sake of, you're getting a late fee this month, John. I don't think anyone wants to do that in our industry.
No, we are all people with integrity, advanced certifications, and degrees. We're not the kind of people that just go out there and have fun making people's lives miserable.
So we've talked about payments. What happens if, I'm a good neighbor, I pay on time, but I went out of town on vacation, and I come back and I have a violation notice. What are my rights as a homeowner? Are there notice requirements before they can give me a fine? Are they allowed to give me a fine?
So that's a good question too. So it depends, so notice requirements, if you can be fined, those are all dependent on your association's governing documents. However, the state of Texas is requiring that all homeowners associations have a defined fining and enforcement policy. These are required to be filed with the county that you live in. So if you live in Austin and in Travis County, you're going to have those documents filed in that county. If you're living in Denton County, those have to be filed with Denton County. but that document defines how the process works. In most cases, associations will send you a courtesy letter first, and then hopefully you've received that and you'll be able to respond. If you've, like you said in your example, been on vacation and you have a notice when you get back, in most cases that doesn't mean you're going to automatically be fined. It means that they've sent you a notice. Hey, we noticed your grass wasn't cut for 2 weeks, most likely because you were out of town. If you generally will call and talk to your management company, say, hey, I was out of town, I didn't get my notice, I was out of town, but I will take care of it, I promise, and they will most likely be willing to work with you.
And I think it's important to know as homeowners too that in the state of Texas, you are allowed 30 days to request a hearing. The HOA cannot put any fine before that 30-day deadline. So if you do get a notice and it tells you that you have a 30-day deadline, they will be able to fine after that according to the fining policy. So know that you do have a 30-day deadline to request a hearing, although most HOAs will give you one before or after that 30 days if it does pass.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think the key component in any situation, be calm, contact your association, and let them know your circumstances. And always, I always say you can gather more bees with honey than you can with vinegar. So if you approach the situation with honey rather than a big dose of vinegar, you're going to be better off in the long run.
But I guess it's important to remember, stay calm, communicate, everything will work itself out in the end, so long as we do those two things. Let's not overreact.
That's exactly right. Overreaction will get nothing but more overreaction.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you can tune in next time for our next episode of Cotton Suburbia, and we hope you can like, comment, and subscribe.